All right, next we're going to work on this little DIL plug, and I want you to see at the very top up here. You see a little cutout? That's supposed to be the top of it. Now, in our particular case, it's not going to matter if you put it in backwards or not, but sometimes it does, and it's more of an indicator for what direction a chip needs to go into the plug. Now, this particular DIL plug is a 32 pin. If you look at our board, and this we only have 30 pins. So it's very, very difficult to find 30 pins, so we went ahead and got a 32 pin DIL. And we're just going to take and we're going to bend the top two out. I'm going to say don't cut it, because what I've experienced so far is some people don't cut it down far enough, and then it won't sit on the board flush because there's no hole. But if we just bend these top ones like this, it works perfectly. So I'm just going to recommend that you take and you bend the top two pins just like that. You can see up top. Then we're going to take, and that should fit right into this hole. Remember the little notches on top? So it should fit right into here. Just like that. So you'll notice, if you can probably kind of hear it moving around, it's not in that hole very well. So here's how we're going to solder. This is going to be a new technique that we haven't done so far. It's called tacking. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our finger, and I'm right-handed, so I'm going to use the hand you're not going to solder with. Put my finger right here in the center, and I'm going to hold the board with my fingers. Put a little bit of pressure on it, so it's going to stay in the hole. I'm going to take solder, just like this. I'm just going to stand it up so I can get hold of it. I'm going to clean my tip so I have a clean tip. I'm going to put a bunch of solder, a big glob of solder on here. I'm going to go to one of these corners up top here. I'm just going to do this. It's going to look like an ugly solder joint, and that's perfectly fine. Its purpose right now is just to hold it. All right, then I'm going to turn the board 180 degrees and keep holding with my finger on the other side. As you can see, if I let go of it, they start falling out. Get another glob of solder. And I'm going to do the same thing up here. Like that. And let it cool for a couple seconds. And now when I let go, it doesn't fall out. So it's called tacking. So there we go. Now what we can do is we can take and put this back into our normal device that we solder with. Let me get it up here in the camera view. And I'm going to make it a little higher. And I'm going to start on the opposite corner of one of the tacks. So in this particular case, I'm going to start up here. And I'm going to go down through. And I'm going to start soldering. After the first couple are in here, they won't fall out anymore anyways. So I like doing one whole side first and leaving the tack on the other side as much as I can. So we're just going to solder down through this. And when we get to the area that we attacked, I'm going to go ahead and clean it up, so it's a decent solder joint as well. You don't want to put too much solder in the tack because you do need to clean it up, make it valid. All right, then I'm going to start on this side. And we're coming up to the last one that I tacked. You can see it's a mess. There we go, it looks good. All right, so now we look at our board. We now have our connector, no jumps across anywhere. And the connector looks good. So there we go, we have our connector in. So go ahead and stop the video at this point, catch up to this point, and when we come back, we're going to put in our buttons next. Our buttons and our knob.